Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vice President Engineering, Vic Gundotra.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to day. Yesterday, we promised you a surprise for this morning. And this morning, Google will surprise you. We are about to unveil a personal communication and collaboration tool in a very early form. We decided to do this at this forum for a couple of reasons. This unbelievable product, one that I'm very, very excited about, will be open sourced.
We're going to show a demo today of a product that we've been working on for a couple of years down in Sydney, Australia. It's called Google Wave, and it's a communication and collaboration tool that we're launching later in the year. Like Vic said, it's a little unusual for us to be showing it to the world this early.
Our presentation today is in 3 parts. First, we're going to show you a demo of the product. Second, we'll show you the APIs that Lars talked about. You can use Waves to enhance your website, and you can build extensions to Wave itself. Third, we'll show you that Wave is also a protocol. We are very passionate about this being an open system of communication. We hope other people build Wave services that interoperate with ours so users have choice in their provider.
Email today is by far the most popular way for us to communicate on the internet, which is remarkable because email was invented more than 40 years ago, before the internet, before the web. And it was done without the experience of things like SMS and instant messaging and blogs and wikis and bulletin boards and discussion groups and social networks and wikis and media sharing sites and collaborative editors, all of these different kinds of communication that we take for granted today. Also, of course, computers and networks have dramatically improved in those 4 decades. And so when we started this project, and it's been more than 2 years, we asked ourselves the question, what might email look like if it was invented today? And needless to say, there's about 1 million different ways you can answer that question. What you're going to see today, Google Wave, is our attempt. And so let me start by briefly contrasting email from Wave. Email essentially mimics snail mail. The basic metaphor is you write a message and you send it to one or more recipients. And then email systems, and we like to think Gmail does this particularly well, can collate related messages into conversations or threads. Wave, by contrast, starts out with the definition of a conversation, which is simply a lightweight tree structure of messages and a set of users participating in that conversation. And then instead of thinking of individual messages as being sent back and forth, we think of the entire conversation object as being a shared object hosted on a server somewhere. And users that participate can open up that wave, leave their replies, go away, and then when the next user comes, she can open up that same shared object, see those replies, and add her own. That's how the wave grows. That's how the conversation builds up. And you'll recognize that this is a model akin to how bulletin boards work. We found that with a tight enough implementation, you can use that to build a single communication tool that has functionality spanning quite a lot further than what you can do with email today.
So what you are looking at is an HTML5 app that we built with the Google Web Toolkit. On the left side is Lars running Chrome. On the right side, I'm running Safari. And a little bit later, we're going to throw in Firefox. So the same thing is being shown on each pair of screens. You can just choose one to look at.
We're planning a boat trip, and I'm going to start by clicking New Wave here, and then I'll type my title in the first line.
Watch your spelling, Lars. There's a lot of people.
There is a lot of people. They can't see what I'm typing anyway. Are you ready for the boat trip? I click Done. It asks me for more users. I'll add Stephanie, and since she's offline, I'm going to go stare at a blank page.
So I will open Wave. And you'll see in my search panel, the middle panel, there'll be an unread message from Lars. He's asking me if I want to go shopping before this boat trip, so I'll do something very email-like, which is hit reply and say, I love shopping.
I wrote the script.
I need new fins. Let's go. The first benefit I want to show you of this being a hosted conversation is it's easier to keep track of structure. If this was email and I wanted to reply to the middle part of Lars's message where he asked which bus to take, I would hit reply, the email client would copy the message, and I'd hand edit in the response. Because this is a hosted conversation and it lives in one place, I can just instruct the server to split the message apart and say, you never wake up early, which is true. Let's take the late bus. Okay, Lars isn't online. I'm going to close this wave.
So a little bit later, I come back online, and you'll see, for starters, that that wave is now bold to show me there's new material in it. When I open it up, Stephanie's first message gets the highlight, and I can navigate the conversation with my keyboard and, of course, continue her thread here. You know me too well, like that. And that's how plain vanilla email-type conversations work in Wave. So you've noticed that we have carefully avoided having the wave open on both screens. When we do have the wave open at the same time, my messages bounces right off the server into Stephanie's browser. And the effect is that you can also do instant messaging type conversations in Wave. In fact, in the same wave, you can switch back and forth between these different ways of communicating. I'll show you that now. Shiny. You must know a good store.
There is a new one over on George Street.
Cool. Let's go at 7.
Sounds good.
In the wave model, all you have to do is make Jens a participant in the wave like that. And now I'll switch over to Firefox here where Jens is already signed in.
So we added a feature called playback. So I get to see Lars' original message. Lars asks Stephanie, Stephanie replies, Stephanie does an inline reply, and so on and so on.
Here. The next thing we want to show you is how attachments work in Wave. So we've been on a boat trip. It was very nice, thank you. And we all got pictures. I have 6 of them sitting here on my desktop, and I'm going to drag them onto the Wave like this.
You might not have noticed, but the thumbnails appeared on my screen long before the full images were uploaded from Lars's computer. This applies to all the images in the Wave, not just the ones I dropped in, which makes Wave a really an easy, lightweight way to create a group photo album together, which is surprisingly hard to do with today's tools.
And so here's the photo album. This is Captain Athena, Waves on your mobile devices. And I have an Android and an iPhone here, and I was going to show you how well it works communicating from mobile devices. You can use Waves to collaboratively author documents, which we'll show you now. The API side is going to go